So let's really nail it down here and focus on where I think the most persistent, the heaviest rains will be, and maybe even enough for some street flooding. Now notice I'm not talking about flooding to get into your homes, but maybe just a little more than ponding. And I'm talking more about an accumulative event, that is as the rains add up tonight and tomorrow and even tomorrow night. So focusing on Clay and Putnam County, and then also St. Johns and Flagler County. The rest of us will have rain, but those are the four counties we're watching. Now, we don't have any watches or warnings out yet, but certainly with the radar, with the Doppler, we can see the rain, and the intense rains are certainly out there as well. And it almost looks like a spigot coming in here from the Gulf of Mexico. Normally, and under this situation, it's the case. Not only is lightning dangerous, right, but also lightning will indicate where the heaviest of the rains are, and they're lining up near Cedar Key, and that activity is moving almost due east, maybe just a little bit of progression off to the north. So here's a look at what we call the Jacksonville metropolitan area, Fernandina to St. Augustine and westward, and pretty much really for the most populated regions, for where traffic is the busiest over the next hour or two. Not much going on, although I do think showers will be developing over the next several hours. We'll continue with the heaviest of the rains. Pretty much think most persistent anyhow from St. Augustine to about the World Golf Village, and then especially on down to Putnam and portions of Flagler County. All right, this is a look at simply where the strongest of the storms are. Right now, pretty much where the rain is where the strongest of the storms are. When I say strong, I'm not talking about thunderstorms that will produce wind damage. That would be over about 50 or 55 miles per hour. These thunderstorms are probably producing some wind gusts of 40. It's simply more in the way of the heavier rains and occasionally some lightning strikes. Okay, so there's a close look with out the rain and just at the lightning strikes. And I think this is the kind of pattern we're going to see. That is, the intensity of the storms will tend to decrease as you go from west to east. And notice we see, although lightning, less in the way of lightning as we get in toward Putnam, Flagler, Clay, and St. Johns County. In fact, more than likely, the first watches and warnings that come out will tend to be for Alachua and Ocala County, and then on off to the, not Ocala County, there's Marion County and Ocala, on off to the west and southwest. And just to occasionally check it out, we have the Doppler working, but I don't see any signs there of wind damage, let alone tornadic weather. You know, often I say the dew point is the decider. And here's another way to look at it. Where you see higher dew points, that's where the atmosphere can potentially produce the most rain. So you can be a forecaster with me. Check it out. These are the current dew points. Notice as you go north, lower dew points. There's just less moisture in the atmosphere. You go to the south, these are almost tropical level dew points for this time of the year in Clay, Putnam, south of St. Augustine, and on into Flagler County. So at least for now, the data seems to support the idea that the heaviest of the rains, most persistent of the activity, will be to the south. But notice I also have 90% tomorrow. What I mean by that is there will be rain. 90% of us will have some significant rain. Then on Wednesday, we clear out. You know what that means? We'll be playing ball, folks, because the jumbo shrimp are back in town. And if 68 is too cool for you, hold on. Almost 80 on Thursday. Most of us will be into the 80s on Friday and Saturday. But we continue with that progressive pattern. You know what that is by now, right? More fronts on the way. And the next line of thunderstorms after Tuesday and Tuesday night will be on into Sunday.